Welcome once again to Truth Matters. In this section, we're going to continue our discussion on the characteristic of truth. Previously, we looked at how truth was absolute, how it has correspondence, and how it has coherence. In this session, I'd like to look at the final three characteristics of truth that I've seen identified, which are that it's universal, that it's exclusive, and that it's objective. The first characteristic today is its universal nature. Truth is universal in the sense of it is not something that applies only to some and not to others. When we say truth is universal, it applies equally to everything within everything or every person within the parameters that are defined. For instance, the Declaration of Independence states a couple truths. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. The parameter is all men. And the truth that we state is that they're created equal. That applies to everybody within that borders. When we say that truth is universal, what we mean is it's not superficial. It's not trendy. It's not faddish. It's not something that is subject to erosion or degradation. Truth is universal. It applies to everything within its borders. For instance, let's consider in the physical realm, there's a truth called gravity. Every animal, every plant, every human being is subject to the forces of gravity. Now, we may escape the forces of gravity by propelling someone to outer space and overcome the gravitational pull of the Earth, but even in outer space, there's still gravity, because gravity is defined by the attraction between two objects. We don't feel the effects of gravity as we do on Earth because we're on a large planet which has a lot of gravitational pull. But yet gravity still exists. It's universal. It is a universal truth. In the same way, there's another physical truth of life and death. All things that are living eventually die. Now, God has made a provision for us to be able to escape death, and that is if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But if you don't, there is no provision to escape the universal truth of death. Truth is universal. It applies to everything within its borders. Another characteristic of truth is its exclusive nature. When we spoke of the universal nature, we spoke of how it applies equally to everything. But when we speak of the exclusive nature, we're talking about how it is also narrow. It defines. Truth is like a line drawn in the sand. You are either on the side of truth or you're not. You cannot be both true and untrue at the same time. The exclusive nature of truth excludes everything that is contrary to it. We can see the exclusive nature in the sense of if I have a very hot cup of water, which happens to be real, it was coffee, and it's hot. It's not cold at the same time. It's exclusive. It's either hot or it's cold. Now, if it's lukewarm or medium in temperature, then it's medium in temperature. It's not hot or cold. It's exclusive. When I define the exclusive nature, that's where we get good and evil, right and wrong, up and down. It's not both up and down at the same time. It's either up or it's down. So that's the exclusive nature of truth. We are either saved or we are not saved. And no matter what our opinion or our perspective, it won't change it, because the very exclusive nature of truth defines. People have said, well, you're narrow-minded. I'm sorry, that's the nature of truth. You know, they can say, well, you're not very accepting. Well, I may be very accepting of people, but yet God defines very exclusive parameters. Jesus Christ said, narrow is the way. He also said, I am the way. No man comes unto the Father but by me. That's the exclusive nature of truth. We may not like it. We may want to argue with it. We may disagree with it, but it's not going to change the nature of truth. By its very nature, truth is exclusive. And the last and final characteristic of truth is it's objective. When we say it's objective, it's something that is not subject to my opinions, my whims, my fancy. Truth is something which must exist outside of man. Truth is not subject to my own definition, my interpretation. Truth is. That's it. Truth is. And truth must exist outside of mankind. Truth is not defined by man. It's not subject to mankind's veto. It is not under my control nor yours. Truth must be revealed to us because truth, by its very nature, is objective. Christians can claim that the Bible is true, but in order for that to be a true claim, then that's not saying that they have all truth. What they're saying is that it is a source, that this is a source of truth, defined, revealed to mankind, outside of his control. Now, if that is a true claim, then we need to research it. We need to investigate it. If you're truly a truth seeker, you will look for truth and you will be able to find it. You will be able to see that its nature is it's absolute, it's correspondent, it coheres, it's universal, it's exclusive, and it's objective. For a Christian to make any kind of truth claim concerning God or the Bible, it must fit every one of those characteristics. So too, any other religion or any other philosophy, any other claims that people make must fit the characteristics of truth. Because if it doesn't, it's not true. But if you're a truth seeker, understanding the characteristics of truth will serve you well.